What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into another live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I am your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. I got my boy, Nick Lopez, on the ones and twos. Got a really informative and very fun show to get through in today's video. A lot of trade rumors. We're going to talk about Jalen Ramsey. We're going to talk about Jaire Alexander, and then we're also going to discuss the latest around Derek Carr, this whole situation, what a Saints legend had to say about it, and we're going to dive into everything that you guys want to talk about as well. We'll have a mailbag, questions, answers. Y'all got questions, I got answers. You got hot takes, I got responses. My boy Nick Lopez wants to share his thoughts too. But before we get into it, I want to get a shout out to a current football player on the New Orleans Saints roster. Shout out somebody. Who's going to be the first one to say Derek Carr? That's the question there, Lopez. Who's going to be the first to say Derek Carr? So shout out somebody on the Saints roster right now, and we'll give you a shout out for that. Isaiah, what's happening? What's going on to Mr. Filmer? What's going on to Althea? I see Rashid Shaheed from Mad Drummer. Jerry G says, Trey, sounds like you got a brand new sound system. We're in a new studio today. We're in hopefully our home base. Did I do it?
New studio, who dis?
Yeah, new studio, who dis? New lights, new camera, new action, who dis? We got, I see Joey saying Alvin Kamara. Joe says, shout out to Derek Carr. Adonis says, what's up? Brian, what's up, bro? OG Jerry, I see that in the chat. Derek Carr's shoulder, shout out to Sell the Team. Cam Jordan from Calvin. Kool-Aid McKinstry from Joel. Carolyn says Demario Davis. Justin Reed from Scott. Shout out to Kendre Miller from Mad Drummer. I see Kool-Aid McKinstry. I got his jersey from Christmas from your comment. That's awesome. Greetings all the way from Australia. Taysom Hill. Aussie. Oi, oi. What's going on? Chef Kosh, I think. Derek Carr, Alante Taylor, Cam Jordan, Spencer Rattler. Austria. I said Australia. I'm an idiot. Austria. Get to the chopper. That's the best I could do is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's Austrian. I think he's Austrian.
I thought he was Australian.
He's not Australian. Unless I've been entirely misled my entire life. I think, that's my fault. I can't read. My bad. Isaac says, please shout me out. He says Cam Jordan. Shout out to Isaac. I see Jathan says Talias Ifuaga. I see Pete Werner in the chat. Chris Olave. Blake Groupie. Bub Means. I mean, we've got damn near the whole roster shouted out at least so far. That's awesome. Shout out to all the Saints players minus Derek Carr and Mickey Loomis.
How many people named Derek Carr but threw a bad word in front of it?
A lot of them probably.
I don't have the chat up right now. So.
Isaiah says Brandon Cooks. Alvin Kamara from Jerry G. Teles Ifuaga from Duke. Shout out to our middle school kicker, Blake Groupie. That's hilarious. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Now, we're going to talk about Jalen Ramsey and possibly trading for him. Would you be interested in it? What would you do? Would you trade for him? Just type trade or type pass in the comment section. What do you guys think? Would you be open to trading for Jalen Ramsey? I totally understand if you wouldn't, but I'm just curious if you would. I'm just curious if you would. I see pass. Shout out to Tyron Matthew from Dwayne and Rashid Shaheed from Kevin. I see trade. I see pass. I see big pass. I see absolutely not. I see trade. I say I'm cool on it. Pass, trade, pass. Too expensive, too old, washed up, pass. Ramsey at safety, pass. Aging, maybe, no. Trade for a fourth. Pass because we need young players. Trade. Pass. Too expensive. I want to get younger. What's happening, Green Nation? Play, or he's a little bit older. If you answered trade, explain why. Elias says pass. I want to get young and cheaper. Pass, but we can give them Derek Carr. That's pretty funny. Shout out to Spencer Rattler. Give up. Get younger talent. Too expensive. Trade. There you go. It's pretty split. It seems like most people are saying no, but it's a pretty split argument from what it sounds like.
At least they're using good logic. It's not like, oh, Jalen Ramsey, I know that name.
Yeah. It's like, I know that name. Go get him.
Yeah.
I will say this. I could be convinced that using Ramsey as a safety could be a good idea. And having him just kind of go down the Patrick Peterson route of you're a corner, you transition to safety, and then at that point, you're just an overall defensive back. Like, you just play wherever. I do know Brandon Staley has a lot of respect for Jalen Ramsey, and that respect is reciprocated to Brandon Staley. And Staley even credits Ramsey for being the biggest reason why he was able to get a head coaching job. So there's ties, at least to Brandon Staley. So it's interesting.
I want to know what Miami would be looking for, since like it's publicly out there, like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. I'm like, I wonder if they're like, all right, a 5th or a 4th round pick is sick, and then that's kind of that. Because you can't ask for a day 2 pick. You can't ask for a day 1 pick, obviously.
You have no leverage.
Yeah, like it's kind of a tough situation. I'm curious to see what the asking price is. That's a good question there, Lopez. It's a very good point. We're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling, but let us know, would you draft or pass? Althea says, RIP to Kyron Lacey. Rest in peace to Kyron Lacey. Prayers to him and his family. Obviously a very tough situation, very scary, very sad thing. Just call your friends, tell them you love them. You never know when the last time you'll see them.
Check up on them.
Yeah, check up on your friends. You never know when somebody needs something. And even if somebody says they're okay, ask them again. To kind of turn a positive note, wanted to just show some respect there. We got a fun little thing tomorrow. We're actually going to be live tomorrow on the channel, 1 p.m. Central Time. An emergency, an extra, a little lanyap, if you will. We're getting you an extra serving of some live Saints Now content. We're going to be doing a company-wide chat sports mock draft, which will be really, really fun. So we're going to go through all 3 of the first rounds. We're going to make all of our picks. Saints have 4. We're going to make all 4 of them. And you guys get to help me make that pick. So I encourage you to subscribe and join us for our Chat Sports mock draft live on YouTube tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time. If you're subscribed, just make sure your notifications are on and set them to all, so that way whenever we do go live or we post a video, YouTube will send you a push notification to your phone or to your laptop, so that way you know when we have content out there that's new for you to consume. So we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. Me and Lopez were just talking about it. We don't know what we're going to do in round 1. We're planning on something kind of fun, though. Yeah. We're planning on shaking some things up, though.
We're going to keep people on their toes right
Exactly. Here. We had the 9th overall selection. We have the ability to really get people thinking about some crazy stuff here. So we're going to talk about it
100%
tomorrow. We're going to talk about it today, and we're going to be live tomorrow. I highly encourage you to subscribe. If you want to RSVP, like the video, and just type me, and we'll see you tomorrow at the live show. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, as always, we have a mailbag coming up, so be sure to use #Saints or send in a super chat to get on the show. If you have questions, hot takes, comments, trade ideas, draft targets, if you have anything you want to discuss, even our personal lives, we're happy to talk about it. Me and my boy Lopez are going to be answering questions and responding to hot takes. So I highly encourage you to stick around, and if you don't want to stick around for the whole length of the live show, use a question, #Saints or super chat, and we'll get to it later, and then you can just check back in later and
you can watch it and be like, oh, they answered my question.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other kind of the fun thing is if your question's on screen, like the conversation immediately is between us. It's not between the whole chat. Like if I have a question, if I'm like, dude, what do you mean by this? That conversation's a you and I thing. So it's pretty exclusive, pretty fun. Thousands and thousands and thousands of Saints fans will be seeing your questions and your hot takes. So get on the show, #Saints, send in a super chat. If we don't get enough, then we're not going to be able to run a mailbag, and then we just can't.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, then we just can't do it. Like, you guys asked for more content. This is me asking you to help me. I think that's fair.
Help us help you.
Yeah, help us help you. I think that's totally fair. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think it's totally fair. We're going to get into the first set of content, trade rumors. Jaire Alexander, Jalen Ramsey. We're going to talk about it in full detail, in full discussion. And we're going to talk, Saints Pell says he's open. There you go. Did you catch it? I don't know if you got it. It was a dot. Saints Pell, did you coach it? Did you catch it?
I trust Saints Pell.
I think you did. Kai the Great, let me know if you caught the ball, brother. Let me know if you caught it.
He definitely.
And when you're done, toss it back to me because I like to have something to fiddle around with while I'm talking about Saints football.
That's okay. Sounds a little weird when you say it like that. When I'm talking Saints football, I like to fiddle around with something. Yeah. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
Hey, you know what? Lopez is somebody who thinks something's weird. Can't knock a guy for thinking something's weird, brother. Mere Comet got your question in. We only have one question that's submitted right now for our mailbag. So Mere Comet is 100% getting it in. Okay. Kai the Great says he one-handed it like Odell. So good stuff there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Also, I'm going to ask y'all really quickly. I need your help, actually. Can everyone help me out? Click on that link to a YouTube short. It's a short about Shedeur Sanders. We're really, really close to getting 100,000 views on it. Just go in there, watch it once or twice, like the video, and then you can swipe away. Just every ounce helps. So I'm just trying to boost the numbers there. It would be our first ever 100,000 view video. That'd be pretty cool. That's not a live show. So if you guys could, click that link, watch the short for just a minute or two, like it, and then just move on about your day. I don't need you guys to sit there all day. Just help a boy out a little bit. Ricky Baker knows ball. We're going Andrew Armstrong. 100. I love that. I love that picture. Or I love that question, Ricky. You know ball. You know ball. When you're done with that, just type me and I'll give you a shout out. And while y'all do that, we're going to make sure we're ready to go. And happy to rock. You haven't had any issues yet? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm good on my end too. I still see everything looking good. Dude, they're over here. They're over here worrying about stuff. We're flying, dude. Life's great over here. Life's great about here. Red, ask your question, but use hashtag Saints, and then also submit your question. I would love to talk about Savion Williams. I think he'd be a really, really fun. JB Talk says, "Yo, it's your boy Lockdown Lattimore. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All righty, let's talk some Saints trade targets. Let's lather the pipes, and then let's get into it." Saints fans, hope you guys are ready to talk some Saints football because it's going down. My name ain't Kesha, but I'm yelling timber. Whenever you're ready, Lopez. By the way, this studio is also super duper cold, so any super chats that get sent in during the duration of this live show will go to building a fire in the studio. A campfire, of course, or a fireplace, or getting Lopez a parka. That's the other option. We could get Lopez like a really nice Patagonia or something, or like go get him like a big North Face jacket. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, an alpaca skin? That's electric. That is electric. All righty. Let's get into it. Trade targets in today's video. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Nick Lopez on the ones and twos. Really quickly, we're going to talk about some Saints trade buzz, some trade targets at the cornerback position because I believe New Orleans has a need there. What's happening, Saints fans? Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. In today's show, we're going to talk about some trade targets, specifically some veteran cornerbacks, Jalen Ramsey and Jaire Alexander, two names that have had a lot of trade rumors surrounding their respective teams and themselves. So we're going to dive into whether or not it makes sense for the Saints to indulge and go and trade for one of these superstars. Now, really fast, I want to get you updated on the road to 50K. We're really on the road to 44K, but the big goal, it's 50K. We're chipping away. I say it every single video. Right now, we're 469 very nice subscribers away from 44,000. Thank you guys for helping us get across 43,500. But let's keep this ball rolling. Let's keep this thing moving and grooving until we get to 50,000 subscribers. Free Saints content by fans, for fans. What more could you ask? So let's talk about Jalen Ramsey first. I want to discuss this because I do believe the New Orleans Saints are a team that needs to get a cornerback. They're a team that I believe could really benefit from having a veteran defensive back. One more veteran defensive back could really make me feel a lot better about the current Saints defense. And I think that this is a defensive back group that is pretty solid. And I think that this is a defensive back group that has the potential to grow. But when you add in a player like Jalen Ramsey, it only makes life better. And this note right here is really interesting. Miami and Ramsey do 25.1 fully guaranteed this season. They could be parting ways. The New Orleans Saints right now, they could try to make it work financially if they wanted to. I mean, trying to take an updated look at the Saints cap space. According to Over the Cap, if $27 million in spending. So you could make that work. That's interesting to think about. And I also will say this, when it comes to Jalen Ramsey, there's ties to the New Orleans Saints. Remember, the New Orleans Saints hired Brandon Staley to be their defensive coordinator. The last time he held that same position was when he was with the Los Angeles Rams, and they ended up winning a Super Bowl. And Jalen Ramsey, he said about Brandon Staley, the best defensive coordinator that I've ever had for sure in the NFL. So there's clearly a lot of respect from Ramsey to Staley. But the respect doesn't end there. It's reciprocated from Staley to Ramsey because Staley credits Jalen Ramsey for being one of the players that helped him get a head coaching job in the National Football League. And look, Jalen Ramsey at one point in time was one of the best defensive players, arguably, in the entire National Football League. But, however, he is a player who some are saying are washed up. Some are saying he is not as good as he used to be. Some are saying he's a shell of the player he once was. Last year for the Dolphins, 60 tackles, 6 for a loss, 11 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. I got to say, I'm not too disappointed in that production. 11 pass breakups is really nice. However, this is also a player just a couple of seasons ago that almost had 20 and 4 interceptions. So, in terms of numbers for Jalen Ramsey, sure, they're down. And I'll say this, when it comes to the New Orleans Saints specifically, I'm open to trading for Jalen Ramsey. I'm not going to sit here and say absolutely the hell not. I understand the concerns of he's washed, he's old, he's expensive, we want to get younger, we want to get cheaper. I get all that. But I'm also okay with bringing in another quality veteran that's been successful in our coach's system before and putting him back in that system, just in a different location. I think that that's not a bad move to explore. This defensive back group for New Orleans has some decent depth. And I think that the starters are solid. I'm a big fan of Justin Reed. I cannot wait to see him play on Sundays in the black and gold. I also really like Tyrann Mathieu. I'm a huge fan of Alontae Taylor. But the cornerbacks are where things get a little concerning for me. Isaac Yiadom, I think he's fine, but he's coming off a down year in San Francisco. Whereas when he was in New Orleans, he actually was playing at a very high level. Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's a second-year player, showed some good things, but definitely needs more development. And if you were to trade for Jalen Ramsey, I'm not going to sit here and limit him to just a cornerback. I would also argue you could line him up as a safety, and honestly, I would say that's probably the best way to go here. And maybe you're sitting here being like, why would you trade for a backup safety? Jalen Ramsey's not a backup, blah, blah, blah. I get that. I understand that. But if you had Jalen Ramsey on the defense and if he's on the roster, I feel much better about the defensive back group as a whole because you could have any combination of your 5 best defensive backs on the field. I mean, Jalen Ramsey could play opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry. He could play opposite of Isaac Yiadom. But you could also, if you need to take Tyrann Mathieu out, put him back at safety. Or maybe have him line up in the nickel. Or maybe have him line up in Justin Reed's position. My point being, I think that the Saints shouldn't close themselves off to it, but don't go get fleeced. Don't go and overpay. Don't go and get absolutely waxed and give away a ton of draft capital because, quite frankly, it's a player that I like and that he's a good name, but you don't need to overpay him. And for the Saints, they are a team that needs to get younger, that needs to get more modern. And, I just think that the Saints shouldn't overpay. Go do it, but don't go and mortgage the future of your team and impact the future. Negatively, I should say. Now, for the next team odds, the New Orleans Saints, they're top 10, top 12-ish. They're pretty low on the odds, but they're in the top half. These were the more likely odds, though. Raiders, Cardinals, Cowboys, Niners, all were ahead. So were the Buccaneers. Another team to look out for is the Falcons. So we'll have to see what happens. Jalen Ramsey is a player who has ties to the Saints due to Brandon Staley. But we also know that Jalen Ramsey is not the player he once was. So I think that it's a very fair thing to say, I want nothing to do with him. So I'm going to kick it to you, and I'm going to ask you the question. Would you trade for Jalen Ramsey? If you would, type trade. If you would not, type pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment. So when you are going through and watching the video, if at any point a YouTube ad break pops up, just scroll down, share your thoughts. Heck, even during this ad break right here, I want you to share your thoughts about Jalen Ramsey. Now, while you're commenting about whether or not you would trade for Jalen Ramsey, I got to encourage you to check out the Game Time app. The link is actually replied to the pinned comment. It's also in the comments and description of this video as a standalone link. So I highly encourage you to check it out. Game Time is the best ticketing app in the whole wide world, and watching sports with your friends is always a blast, but nothing truly matches the hype of being in attendance. So don't miss out on any big moments across sports with the Game Time app. And they don't just stop at sports. It's the best ticketing app for concerts, comedy shows, theater, and other live events too. Game Time specializes in last-minute deals. You can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets to live events in your area. And they also highlight super deals. These are the tickets that are the best value for events. So whenever you're looking to get a super deal, you can have some super savings thanks to Game Time. They also have all-in pricing, seat views, and the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. Download Game Time today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But once again, redeem code CHATSPORTS when you download the Game Time app to get $20 off your first purchase. You can go to Jazz Fest. You can go to LSU baseball. You can go to see the Saints play. I don't care what you want to go do. Just make sure you go see live events with the Game Time app. Get a gift. Get your boys a fun thing to do on a trip. Get your girlfriend a nice little date night. Just do it with Game Time. Link is in the comments and description of this video. Shout out to Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Alrighty, I want to talk about Jaire Alexander now. And I do understand that there are some reports out there that, there's not the imminent trade here. So that's kind of where this is an interesting conversation. I don't know if I would trade for Jaire Alexander, but if he becomes available as a free agent, that's something that becomes much more intriguing. They have received trade interest. Green Bay has been getting calls about their cornerback, but a deal is not imminent. And I believe that the goal is to get done before the NFL draft. So that way the Packers can use those picks this year. If he's not traded by the 2025 NFL draft, I talked to my guy, Joey Peterson. He's the host here of our Packers channel by Chat Sports. He said that he expects the Packers to cut Jaire Alexander if he is not traded by the NFL draft. And like we mentioned for Jalen Ramsey, I'll say the same thing for Jaire Alexander. He is a player that could fill a position of need, which is a cornerback, but specifically a veteran. The best ability, though, Lopez, is what? Availability. So let's talk about an injury-plagued player because, in 2022, this is a guy who was a very, very good football player. But in 2021, 4 games played. In 2023, 7 games played. In 2024, 7 games played. So when I look back at the 2022 production, I think, wow, that's a player who at one point in time was a dog. That's a player at one point in time was responsible for 5 interceptions and 14 pass breakups. Since then, he's had 2 interceptions and 13 pass breakups. Just not what you want to see. Last year, in 2024, he had a grand total of 7 pass breakups. He had 16 tackles and 2 interceptions. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say like he's a bad football player, but I just want to see the Saints add another cornerback because I think that that's a position in need. Again, if it's a trade, maybe this is a conversation I'm not really willing to do. But if it's a free agency acquisition because he's cut, that's something I'm definitely interested in. Now, Jaire Alexander, there's some interesting context from Tom Silverstein that I want to share with you guys. Since most of the league knows that the Packers don't intend to keep Jaire Alexander, they aren't hurrying to make a deal, figuring he will eventually be cut. Alexander is a vested veteran, so he is not subject to waivers and can negotiate with whomever he likes if he's cut. My big fear with Jaire Alexander is that this is Marshawn Lattimore 2.0. meaning he's a very quality, very productive, very good cornerback that misses a lot of time. And I don't want the Saints to be stuck in that problem again. Of course, you can't always control injuries. That's something that just happens in life. However, I am a believer that the New Orleans Saints need to be smart. And I'm also a believer that the Saints need to draft a cornerback by pick 131, which is your second in the 4th round, because you don't have a 5th round pick. You have 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. You have 6. You have 6 selections in the top 150. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. You have really good opportunity to add a quality cornerback by pick 131. So I would almost argue this is a smarter route than going to trade for a Jalen Ramsey or a Jaire Alexander. I think any one of these players would be an excellent selection. Not all of them are 1st-round players. Not all of them are 2nd-round players. Not all of them are day 3 picks. You have a little bit of everything here. And I would be very happy if the Saints were able to pull off one of these players in the draft. The Saints have a need at cornerback. There is no question about it. So in my personal opinion, going and trading for a Jalen Ramsey or a Jaire Alexander, sure, it's fun. The name is there. But you have to build some youth. You have to add some talent, and you got to get cheaper. So although I'm interested in those other players, you can convince me to go and do that. You also cannot leave the draft without a cornerback as a priority pick. So I want you to answer the question. Who should the Saints draft at the cornerback position? We gave you 10 names to look at. If you need to, just rewind real quick and look back at them. But let me know. Who's the cornerback you want the Saints to draft? And guys, I put a lot of content out on social media. I put all of my stuff actually out on Instagram and on Twitter before I get to YouTube. So if you want to hit me up, links are available in the comments and description of this video. Instagram and X and TikTok. Feel free to hit your boy up on all 3 platforms. Saints fans, I really appreciate y'all for making us a part of your day. A fun little bit of content around some trade rumors. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Oh, yeah. Just slight work. Just slight work. All right.
And luckily, we didn't have any problems with the stream.
I was going to say, I didn't see any issues. Like, we're moving. So I see Trey Amos, Benjamin Morrison, Maxwell Hairston, Benjamin Morrison, not a corner at 9. Where is Derek Carr? We're going to talk about that next. Don't you worry. This one's going to get heated.
Derek Carr will get discussed.
Yeah, we'll talk Derek Carr. Don't you worry.
Try and stop us from talking Derek Carr.
Yeah, don't you worry. It's really fun, too, because if you guys don't want to talk about Derek Carr, you can lie to me and tell me you don't all you want. The views say you want to talk about Derek Carr. The YouTube views say Derek Carr is definitely the conversation to have.
I was laughing when I was building the Derek Carr video earlier because I did not know about the whole car review stuff that he's doing. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Was there the photo in there of like the thumbnail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was like, what the fuck is
Okay,
this?
cool. I just want to make sure. Sweet. All right. I want to do it. I want to talk about it. I want to get into... Yeah, that's the one. All right. You guys want to see what we're talking about next? This is what we're talking next. Just going to give you a little tidbit here. If you guys have any very specific things you want to say about Derek Carr, use hashtag Saints or send it a super chat. Solar says, do you like this trade? Saints receive. That's all it says. That's all it says. If you want to get on the show, hashtag Saints, send in a super chat. Yeah, we'll have a mailbag coming up. How are we looking on questions?
Let's see.
Probably need a lot more, don't we?
Got one from Jaden. He's always coming in clutch.
Okay.
Then we got a couple.
So Jerry G, Isaiah B, Jammin, and Courtney. I need y'all to all send in a hashtag. Say Jerry G's got me. Okay.
Yeah, I see them in the lower Saints. I didn't get there yet. Courtney
okay, cool.
Got one.
Cool. Courtney's got one in.
Isaiah's
got one in. Ricky, appreciate you getting one in.
Hayden Black got 3 or 2. He
just
hashtag Saints
cool.
For one.
So we got a few of them. We definitely need more, though. And we're going to do the mailbag here in just a few minutes. So if you guys haven't, please get your questions and comments in ASAP. Queen Courtney says, I sent 2. Perfect. We see him. Young City from Jerry G. All righty. I'm actually excited to talk about this one. I'm going to just warn y'all now, this could be a long video. This could turn into a long video.
This is going to turn into a short. He's going to rant, and it's going to be a short at some point. I guarantee it.
It could. It probably will. Ricky Baker, I love that. Love that one. Andrew Armstrong, next CeeDee Lamb. Bars. All right. If we don't trade up to get Sanders, what if we don't trade up to get Sanders? Isaac, that won't work because you didn't have hashtag Saints in there. Hashtag what doesn't work? Ooh, different picture. It's the
Yep, I see it.
Yep. I
was too excited about the car review.
I know, dude. I'm excited for this one. All righty. We get a sip of water. This is going to be interesting. We're going to put this segment out after live. So if you miss anything, tune in later. Or if you want to watch it again, this will be can't miss television. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. This is, oh God, I'm excited about this one. All righty. Let's talk Derek Carr because it's time to have an honest conversation. In case you missed it, a Saints legend didn't hold back when it came to this Derek Carr situation. So for today's video, we're going to dive into what he had to say, and then we're also going to get into my thoughts and have an honest conversation and just air out some grievances. This might be a longer video. We're filming it as a part of our live show. It also could get pretty animated with a lot of rants, so just bear with this. I hope this is entertaining. I hope this is fun for y'all. And I hope you guys tune in tomorrow, or actually tomorrow, because we're putting this out on Wednesday evening. I hope you guys tune in tomorrow to our live on Saints Now by Chat Sports. We're going to be live at 1 p.m. Central. So we're having an emergency live show. You want to know why? Because we're doing a company-wide mock draft. The first 3 rounds, Saints make 4 picks. So I hope you join us, where me and my producer, Nick Lopez, is going to be my assistant GM. We're going to be looking to improve the roster, build for the future, and get back on top of the NFC South. So I hope you see you guys there. Subscribe and join us. Turn on your notifications, and we'll see you at our live mock draft on YouTube tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time. Let's add context to conversation. The New Orleans Saints started their workouts earlier this week. The offseason workouts, some call them OTAs, whatever you want to call it. It's basically the Saints were able to start some of these offseason workouts early because it's a first-year head coach, and that's what happened. This week, they started. And we also found out some new information that Derek Carr, your starting quarterback, is now an Instagram influencer. He took notes from old Triz, and he said, I want to be a YouTuber. So him and his brother, they decided that they were going to start reviewing cars because they're cars reviewing cars. Isn't that just so damn funny? Unbeknownst to me, Derek Carr is an influencer. So, of course, naturally, he's not an NFL quarterback anymore. Naturally, it makes more sense for him to be hanging out with his brother making videos for YouTube rather than preparing for a season with the first-year head coach as the quarterback of a football team making $40 million. Needless to say. Carr has created an optics nightmare. Derek Carr has created a lot of problems. And the only person that he has to blame outside of himself is Dennis Allen, which is fair because Dennis Allen dragged him brought him to New Orleans. But he has created an optics nightmare between leaking the information about his injury, between what we saw of him at the Fresno State spring game, and not being at the Super Bowl, not being around for Mardi Gras. This has been an optics nightmare. It's clear he does not want to be in the city of New Orleans. It is clear he does not want to be a Saint. It is clear he wants out. And so I told you a Saints legend sounded off and didn't hold back. So let's kick it to him. Scott Shanley, former linebacker, 10-year NFL veteran, Super Bowl champion with the New Orleans Saints. I'm trying to get him on the show because I would love to have a full discussion with him. But he took to Twitter And he did not hold back. And I want to say before we even read this, I agree with everything he had to say. My 2 cents about the Derek Carr shoulder injury news: if he's pouting because the Saints are going to look for a young quarterback in the draft, he's too thin-skinned to be your quarterback. And the guys in that locker room deserve better. I could not agree more. A competitive person would say it's time to play. So while the young guy won't touch the field anyway, nothing is promised to anyone in the NFL. Everyone's time comes to an end. Nobody is owed anything. If really injured, should be at the facility and surrounded by surgery specialists today. Mrs. Benson didn't pay Derek Carr $40 million a year to do car reviews on YouTube. This is my favorite part about all this. Tough times will always reveal a man's character. Tough times reveal a man's character. That's true. That is very true. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And Derek Carr, he is folding, he's whining, he's healing over, and quite frankly, I hope this doesn't get me in any trouble. I'm a Saints fan, and I'm a guy who's going to make content for fans. So I'm going to say what you're feeling. He's being a baby back bitch about all of this. He doesn't want the Kirk Cousins treatment. I get it. That's fine. Sure. But also, let's be honest, Derek, you've never won a playoff game. You've never had success in the postseason. Sure. Had a lot of different play callers. You've been with some bad situations. You're on the Raiders and the Saints, not the greatest organizations in the whole wide world to ever deal with. I get it. But we're not going to learn something in year 12 that we haven't learned in the first 11 years. Derek Carr needs to start preparing and being realistic for himself that this NFL career might be coming to an end. That doesn't mean he can't be annoyed about it. That doesn't mean he can't be upset about it. Doesn't mean he can't try and make it last a little bit longer. But I'm here to tell you right now, Derek Carr does not want to be with the Saints. Derek Carr is not committed to this team. He's not committed to this city. He's not committed to this fan base. He's not committed to Kellen Moore. He's not committed to the offense. Derek Carr does not want to be in New Orleans, Louisiana anymore. And so I think we should give him his wish and let him move on. If you agree with Scott Shanley, like the video. I mean, tough times prove a man's character. The team deserves better. I agree with everything he said. If I could like this video 500 times, I would. And you want to know why I agree with Scott Shanley? It's going to get, I'm about to get really animated. This is a city that is very unique. New Orleans is not a city that is like any other in the world. And I want to just add context here. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I grew up in the Dallas, Texas area. I went to college at Arkansas. I have family from Louisiana. I've always been a Saints fan. My dad's dad, so my grandfather, he grew up in Slidell. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Louisiana native. I'm a New Orleans native. None of that is true. But I understand what this city means to the team and what the team means to this city. The New Orleans Saints and the city of New Orleans are a team that are very, very unique when it comes to the connection that city has with the sports organizations. And this is also a city, if you love them, they will love you back. New Orleans is a great place. It is a beautiful city. It might be a little stinky. It might be a little dirty. It might be a little weird. It might get a little too rowdy at times. But we love it for all of those reasons. It's not for everybody. You don't have to love New Orleans. But if you do, they'll love you back. And if you don't get mad if you get forgotten. Don't get mad if you never buy into the city, if you never embrace the city, if you never commit. If you never, ever take ownership and take pride in being the New Orleans Saints quarterback, especially when you follow Drew Brees and Jameis Winston, no fucking wonder we see Mardi Gras parades with floats with Derek Carr as a skeleton. No wonder we see people hating on. No wonder we see people burning jerseys. No wonder we don't see fans at the Superdome on Sundays. Derek Carr has never embraced this city. He has never embraced this team. And I understand, he's a good dude. He's a good Christian, strong man, leader, father, husband. All of those things can be true. But as a quarterback and as a leader of the New Orleans Saints, he has dropped the ball in every aspect. I don't care about making excuses for him anymore. He's a veteran in this league. You've been in the league for 10 plus years. Figure it out. If you can't figure it out, then shit or get off the pot. I don't care. But Derek Carr doesn't want to be here anymore. Give him his wish. Get him the hell out of Dodge, and let's move forward. And let's embrace people who want to and be here. Let's embrace players who embrace the city. Let's not build and force something down our throats that nobody wants. Give the people what they want, Mickey. Take some ownership, Kellen. Spencer Rattler, bring your fucking best you can. If it's Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders, same to you. I am overseeing Derek Carr being this quarterback. I'm overseeing him just be half in, half out. He is a player who's very passionate in what he does, but he is not a player that deserves to be the New Orleans Saints head or the quarterback anymore. And I would say this, to be fair to Derek Carr, there are no ties. There are no more ties between him and the city. The person who brought him here, Dennis Allen, he was fired. So once Dennis Allen got fired, you had to assume Derek Carr's probably not gone too shortly after. And we also know reports that the Saints have been doing their homework and have been looking at quarterbacks since last year. So this was always a part of the plan. And I'm sorry, Derek, I get closing the yearbook's tough, but if you're not a part of the plan, you're not a part of the plan. So move on. You're not the quarterback anymore. Move on. I understand that for him, he's contractually obligated to be a Saint, but this feels very reminiscent to how things ended in Vegas. This feels very much so like we're going to see Derek Carr, all of a sudden week 1, he's not going to be available. And then you're going to see the Saints ask him to not be a part or be with the team. And that's what happened at the end of his tenure with the Raiders. It's exactly what's happening right now. That's exactly where we're headed. Now, Scott Shanley, I want to throw more to him because this right here is my pretty boy swag. Now, this right here is also very interesting, and it's very telling, and it's applicable to this situation. Love it. The offseason grind together is where team chemistry develops. I told my next door neighbor in spring of 2009 we were going to the Super Bowl. It just felt different after a few weeks of OTAs. The offseason matters. Now, reminder, these are voluntary workouts, so you don't have to be there. No veteran is required to be there. Nobody is required to be there. But let's also not act like unprofessionals. This is the first year with the new head coach. You're the quarterback of a team. Cam Jordan was there. Demario Davis was there. Chris Olave was there. Rashid Shaheed was there. Alante Taylor was there. You couldn't? You couldn't go, Derek? It was more important to go film a YouTube video? Good to know. I'm glad to see that that's where the priorities lie. And look, Derek Carr's gotten emotional before. He got emotional towards the end of his tenure in Vegas. He is a player that is emotional, whether it's good or bad. And I think emotion is a thing that can be harnessed for good. But if you're in Derek Carr's position, you can't be sitting here getting pissy because the Saints want to move in a different direction and they have a new head coach that this isn't the Saints. I don't know who you have to be mad at, Derek. The Saints gave you a contract. You could have said, I want to take a pay cut and I want to get out of here. And you could have done that, but you didn't. And I want to encourage you really quickly to subscribe to the channel because if there is an update around Derek Carr or if there is anything that happens around this situation, we're going to give you a video. I'm telling y'all 10 and a half minutes into this. I had this scripted to be very early, but I got heated, Lopez. I'm sorry, man. Keep this thing moving. Anytime there's an update around Derek Carr, we're going to give you updates. We're going to give you a video. If it's good, bad, or ugly, we're going to make sure you are the most informed about this situation because we're going to keep you covered. So subscribe to Saints Now for free Saints content by fans for fans. Now coming up, we kind of already started this. I should have said continuing. Continuing this brutally honest rant about Carr. It's actually going to somehow get a little bit more animated. I'm very excited to get this thing going. Yeah. This is not a good situation for Carr, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to get very, very opinionated, so be sure to stick around for a few more minutes. Really quick, I got to give a big-time shout-out to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. Game Time is making Saints Now possible, and they're also making game days so much better, enhancing your game viewing experience and making you and your squad giving them the ability to make it out to Sundays and to make it out to games, concerts, comedy shows, live events in your area. And watching sports is always a blast, but nothing matches the hype of actually being in attendance. Whether you're going on a date night, whether you're out on a boys trip, whether you just like going to see your favorite teams play live by yourself or with your family, Game Time makes the ability to do that so much easier. They have last minute deals, and you can save up to 60% when buying last minute tickets for concerts, comedy shows, sports, theater, and other live events. And they also have super deals. These tickets are tickets that are best valued for events. And if you want to get tickets to Jazz Fest, to Arkansas versus LSU baseball, Falcons versus Saints, you can get tickets to all these events. And you can also make sure you check out the super deals tab. Look at that. Super deal, super deal, super deal. It's the best value, or it's the for your ticket. It's the best value for your event. So really good seat at a great price. They're going to make sure they highlight that for you to just give you more reasons to enjoy the Game Time app. They also have all-in pricing. You have seat view, so you can get a panoramic view of what you'll be seeing whenever you sit down in your seat. Really, really great feature. And they also have the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All that information is in the comments or description of this video. All right. Let's do this. Derek Carr is acting like a child. He is handling this like a toddler. I have a nephew who is 7 months old, Lopez. Really cute kid. Really like him. He's a good dude. He doesn't cry nearly as much as Derek Carr does. He doesn't act out as much as Derek Carr does. He's acting like a child throughout this whole process. I'm not going to take a pay cut. Okay, fine. Then the expectation is that you're going to be the quarterback ready to go. No, I have a shoulder injury, and I'm going to leak it, and the team knew, but I'm going to go behind their back, and I'm going to tell everyone on a Friday news dump. Really? Like, this is just such a childish way of handling all of this. Take the fucking pay cut, get traded, and get what you want and what we want. Pretty easy. But instead, you wanted to make life difficult. Go get the restructured contract, get the $40 million guaranteed, and now you're tied to us. Unless, of course, we trade him as a post-June 1. You save like $1.2 million, but you still have a shit ton in dead cap. Look, if Carr wanted to win the fan base over, he could have done that. If Carr wanted to be the guy, he could have done that. If Carr wanted to prove he wants to be in the city and he wanted to prove the city should want him, he had time and time and time and time again. He had prime opportunities this offseason to win the fan base, win the locker room, win the roster, win everyone back. And he didn't. The only people he impressed were those idiots on Twitter who are part of the Derek Carr cult. The only person Derek Carr has to blame is himself and Dennis Allen. And remember when Derek Carr blew up on Chris Olave and Eric McCoy? Remember that? Feels like he's been kind of a child this entire tenure of being a Saint. Feels like it's just been nothing but, okay, well, a couple good moments here. There's a couple fun deep passes. And then, oh, by the way, blow up with Chris Olave. You freaked out and threw him under the bus. You blew up with Eric McCoy, who's the most calm, cool, collected human being to ever walk the face of the planet. And by the way, you also managed to get Michael Thomas to burn every possible bridge ever with the New Orleans Saints organization. So much so that he might be blacklisted from the NFL as a whole. Honest question. Was Michael Thomas right the whole time? Feels like he could have been. It feels like you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Michael Thomas, was he right the whole time? Remember those Twitter rants? That Derek Carr of this, Derek Carr of that, Jeff Duncan this, Jeff Duncan that. Was he right? Starting to kind of think he might be. It's starting to kind of think maybe Mike knew something. Maybe he got casted out at the expense of, you know what, I'm going to do what I do for my fan base because I'm a diehard, I'm a New Orleans Saint through and through. Long story short, was Michael Thomas right this whole time? I don't know. Starting to seem that way. Final thoughts. Look, I know I got very animated, and I understand a lot of people are going to get in the comments and come after me about this video. I really don't care because I understand why Derek Carr may or may not have certain feelings. I can understand why he may or may not want to be in the New Orleans Saints roster. I can understand why he may or may not want out. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say, you should. But what I am going to sit here and say is the way you've handled this has been extremely immature. The way that this is gone has not been good. This could have been an avoidable situation had we made it work, but there was an unwillingness to make it work. This is clearly a relationship that needs to end. This is as black and white obvious a middle school or high school relationship. You see it all the time in any age demographic, whatever. You see your best friend dating a chick. You think she's absolutely crazy, but he won't break up with her. This is that exact same situation. This is clearly a relationship that needs to end. It's got to be done. And I'm hoping the New Orleans Saints move off and just eat the money and say, fuck it, we'll do it. Whatever. I'm okay with being bad for a year. I'm okay. Let me put it this way. I would rather win 5 games with Spencer Rattler than 6 games with Derek Carr, 7 games with Derek Carr. Because at least if you have the 5 wins with Spencer Rattler, you have a better draft pick. You're not going to make the playoffs with 7 wins. This is not going to happen. And at least it's just something fun, different that we can develop and we can at least be hopeful for. You're not going to learn anything new about Derek Carr. That's just the reality of it. I want to ask you this question before you guys hop on out of here. Where do you think he'll play next season? Is he going to be a Saint? Is he going to be riding the bench? Is he going to be playing for the local hospital? Who knows? Let me know. Get down in the comment section. Share your thoughts. And Who Dat Nation, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with us during this rant, during this longer video. I had a good time filming it. I hope you guys had a good time watching it. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Coolio. I had fun with that one. I also looked down at 12 minutes. I was like, we still haven't done the ad read yet. I should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
I should probably wrap this shit up.
That's going to be a 20-minute right there.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That right there, honestly, you could probably pick any 60-second stretch in that video and be like, short.
You can make 8 shorts out of it. Good. Just where do you want to focus?
Yeah, where should we go with it? That's the beauty of it. All righty. Get your questions in.
Oh, we did get a super chat.
We did get a super chat. Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat, super chat, super chat.
There we go. Why you switch sides from Shador to Dart? Oh.
I didn't switch sides. My take has never changed. My take has actually always been I would love Shador or Jackson Dart. That I've never wanted one or the other over the other, I should say. I like both of them for different reasons. Jackson Dart, I do think will fit Kellen Moore's system better, and I also do think that Kellen Moore himself is more interested in Jackson Dart. Because he was physically at the Ole Miss Pro Day. He was not physically present for Colorado's Pro Day. That doesn't mean he's not at least intrigued, but I think that the more likely option is Jackson Dart, but I'm not closed off to Shador. I would love Shador. I'd be very happy with Shador. So I don't know where you got the I don't want Shador Sanders. That could not be further from the truth. It just genuinely could. Mikey, what's up, brother? I appreciate you.
Super chat. We're cooking now.
Another super chat. Another super chat. Do you know the Patriots are never going to give the 4th-round pick to you guys? Pats fan, do you know that the Saints are never going to trade up to 4? Oh, and also, did you know that you're never going to get Chris Olave? Because I know how badly you wanted him.
You're going to make him cry.
I don't give a shit. Pats fans deserve to cry. They haven't had they had a long time of success. They don't deserve happiness for the next 20 years of football. They could win maybe 6 games combined over 50 years, and I would not feel bad.
No,
the
amount of complaining
I would never feel bad. I will. You will never see me give any sympathy towards a Patriots fan. That'll never, ever happen. Mikey Taylor, what up, guys? Been busy. What did I miss? First, we talked about Jalen Ramsey, Jaire Alexander trade, and then we had a brutally honest conversation about Derek Carr and what Scott Shanley had to say about him. I also think that that's going to be interesting because I already know there's going to be so many, you did clickbait. I'm like, well, you didn't watch You clicked out of, you stopped watching after 30 seconds. Like, got to get to the tweets before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we don't just make stuff up.
Yes, crazy concept, I know. We don't actually just make things up. We just talk about stuff. We get creative with our headlines. There's a difference between click-worthy and clickbait. Two very different things. Yeah, Mikey, you missed out on honest conversation, what Scott Shanley had to say about Derek Carr, and then you also missed out on Jalen Ramsey and what's it called? Jaire Alexander trade.
Mikey, I encourage you to watch all of our content, but if you have 20 minutes within your day later today, watch the Derek Carr video. You will love it.
Praise YJ, that's a fair question. How does Dart keep rising the ranks after we stop playing football? I'm not buying the hype. I mean, every year, like, this is not a Jackson Dart specific quality. That is not a trait that is specific to Jackson Dart. Every year, a quarterback gets it. And I'm going to argue actually that Tyler Shuck has been getting a lot more of that. And oh my goodness.
What do we have to do? We have to do something for that.
Oh my God. Go get me a happy dad. Go get me a happy dad in a funnel. Go get me a happy dad.
Can I grab myself one too?
Get yourself one.
Yeah.
Do the cam left here. Because Randy,
let me ask you
the legend Lemoyne, he is back, baby. He is back. Randy. Randy. You hear? I appreciate you. Randy. Randy, the legend, Lemoyne! He is back! 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 Randy! He says, hello, family. I missed you. Headed to radiation, but wanted to send some love. Hello, Trizzy. Hello, Randy. We love you. I'm so happy for you, my friend. I hope that it's okay that I say this. Randy let me know, although he's headed to radiation, he's only got a few more left. So that's really, really good news. I'm so pumped up to get Randy back. He's a legend. We've missed you so much, man. The Golden Gang has missed you. Your family, your squad here at Saints Now by Chat Sports has missed the hell out of you. We've been praying for you. We have a gift headed your way. I want you to know we love you, Randy. It is so good to see you back. Thank you. Just keep focusing on getting healthy, brother. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be right here as long as you need us around, my friend. And of course, you also have my number. Feel free to text me or call me. I saw you texted and called me yesterday. I didn't get to it. I was very busy. I'll give you a shout later today, though, Randy. Man, this one's for Randy. Randy. Khan asked who was the starter when I got into the Saints. It was Drew Brees. Drew Brees was the starter. Or actually, no. It might have been Aaron Brooks. Okay, so it's kind of one of the. This is kind like I was a kid when I first started watching football. And when I first started playing Madden and I started liking the Saints, it was Aaron Brooks. But then whenever I first started watching and like actually paying attention and being like more than just, oh, cool football team, cool helmets. Like whenever I actually started watching, it was Drew Brees. Like not just, oh, the game is on and I'm sitting with my dad. It was when I actually started paying attention to Drew Brees. So if that answers the questions. How funny would it have been if, like, yeah, Andy Dalton, Saints legend. Ian Book, bro. Yeah, dude. Saints legend. Fun fact, Jameis Winston has a better winning record than Derek Carr against the Falcons. Do what you want. All righty. Randy, this one's for you, brother. Cheers, Lopez. Whew, it's cold. Whew. Had to get that out of y'all's ear. Huh? Shout out Randy. We call him Randy the Legend, Lemoyne for a reason. Here, I'll do this here. That way, I don't know if we have a trash can in here, do we? Oh, there is? Okay, cool. Son of a bitch. Look, Lopez. Randy! Bang! We can have a Randy mailbag. This mailbag sponsored by Randy Lemoyne. That's 100% happening. This next mailbag is sponsored by Randy Lemoyne. He's getting a shout out in the first 60 seconds. I'm going to send a message in here.
Are we getting something delivered? Randy, you're a fucking goat, by the way. I don't know if anybody's told
What
you that.
studio are we in? D?
Yeah. D as in the goat, Randy. Spam Randy in the chat, actually.
Everyone type Randy.
Yeah, let's just spam Randy. God damn.
Wow. Holy shit. Randy, 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 Randy. Randy, one of these days, not today because I know you're on your way to radiation. One of these days, I'm going to call you and we're going to have you and I are just going to chop it up, okay? I'm just going to, my phone right here, you and I are just going to chop it up to everybody.
You put him in the mailbag
100% happening. Shit, man, we could just have him join the mailbag. That's a great idea. It's a great idea, Lopez. All right, we got Alper bringing a happy dad, and I believe he's going to do a race with us.
Ooh.
I don't know if he's bringing you one. He's bringing me one for sure. All righty. Randy, 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 Randy. Oh, my goodness. I just got to say, such a legend, man.
The endorphins going through the body right now.
The adrenaline is rushing through right now.
Any chance you want to get a third one?
Is there a way you could grab a third? Yeah. Cool. Y'all two can go funnels, and I'll just go chug it. I'll throw it back. Giggity, if that works. Giggity. Or if the funnel or Merbonga, one of those. If one of those is out there, you can grab that too. Thanks, Alper. Sorry, bro. Randy, we're gonna get you on the show one of these days. And also, I just got to say thank you so much. I hope you can hang out with us for the chug. If you have to go, Randy, just text me really quick. If you when you log off, just text me. I want to make sure you see this because if you don't, then I'll screen record it and I'll send it to you. That way you can see us all have some fun in your honor.
We'll make a short out of it.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. We have to make sure of it.
I actually don't know if I've been introduced to Randy the Legend.
Dude, you haven't? Is this your introduction to Randy the Legend?
I think it is.
Dude, let me tell you about Randy. This guy is an electric factory. He's like Alvin Kamara, a big play waiting to happen. It just when is it going to happen? It's just a big play machine. He is a legend. We wish nothing but good health, good fortune, good luck, good wishes, everything to Randy. He's been dealing with some stuff off the field, some health things and whatnot. He's been on the IR, if you will. But that hasn't stopped him from being a legend. That hasn't stopped him from checking in with me and helping me make sure he's all right and having a good day and stuff. I just got to say, man, I just appreciate Randy so much. I know I keep saying it, but dude, the guy dropped $150 to support us. Like, the least I could say is thank you for a few minutes. Just this guy is there's not enough nice things I can say about this man. There just isn't. All right, Lopez, can we go full screen here? Can we go full screen here?
Yeah.
And then I got one, you got one, you got one. Cool. And then Bruce, bring those funnels over. Thank you for bringing warm ones. These last ones Lopez brought were cold. And
I'm sorry.
It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad.
Sorry.
Lopez, you want the Burbonga or your funnel?
It don't matter.
Mad Drummer says TJ is live. What up, TJ? TJ Jones does a great job at the State of the State podcast. Love that guy. I joined him a while back. Where are the locos?
Say less.
Lord.
Lopez just said say less. Alrighty. So in case y'all don't know, we got my guy Brett Alper here. He's an absolute legend at Chat Sports. We got
sir.
producer Nick Lopez, another legend, sort of, here at Chat Sports. The power rankings definitely favor Alper. I'll just say that. I'm just kidding. So, Randy, this is going to be a three-man chug in honor of Randy Lemoyne. He's headed to radiation right now, so I want to just wish him luck there. He's my guy. He's a homie. I'll text you / call you later on, Randy. Best wishes to you. Love you, man. Thank you for your support. Who dat? Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo!
Love Randy.
Prayers
Shout
up.
out, Randy.
Shout out to Randy. Prayers up, prayers out. We love you, man. We love you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We can obviously let this thing happen and party and just keep things going, but of course, we also have a mailbag to get to. So if you have questions, hashtag send in a super chat. Can we start the mailbag?
With that $1.99 super chat.
The 100.
Well, it wasn't a question. That's why.
No. So what we're going to do is hot takes and questions from the Golden Gang go to Randy.
Oh, yeah, because he's sponsoring it. My bad.
Yeah. And then
The one that was the $1.99 asking about the flipping from Shadur to Jackson Dart. Are we putting that in the mailbag too?
after Randy's. Yep.
Okay.
So I have it in the script right there. So it'll just go L3, Randy, and then the other guys, if that works.
Randy.
You see that in the script right there?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, cool. Dude, my cap cut has been like trying to open all day. I haven't been able to, and I can't like close it. Like, cause it's like loading. I can't close it. So I'm not like, I've had to wait all day. Like after live, I'm just gonna have to like turn my laptop off and then
Throw in the river.
maybe. Dude, I felt that in my brain. Ow. It's not very big, but I felt it in my brain. Giggity.
Yeah. We were going the same route there. We were going the same.
I love
Same
it.
place.
I love it. Randy, he says, great chug, my dear friends. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Gotta go. Stay golden. You stay golden, Randy. Give me a text later. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I absolutely love the shit out of you,
We
brother.
love Randy.
Love the hell out of you, man. All righty. Hashtag Saints. Send in a super chat. Hit your boy up. Michael Roby says, this show is so much better than listening to WWL 870 AM.
I hate I hate
So
WWF.
that's the radio station.
No, it's a news station. Or wait,
I thought
no.
WWL
No,
still
you're
did
so
Saints.
right. I was thinking
I
of
thought WWL
WDSU.
was still doing Saints.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking WDSU.
Well, WDSU, isn't that the news station?
Yeah,
And the
that's what
WWL
made me
is
think
the
about it.
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see what you got. Jaden, he says, you know I got my question. Jaden, fist bump, bro.
Jane always got questions.
Fist bump, bro. Fist bump. You always got questions in. All righty. Let's do it. Mailbag. I'm ready. You're ready. Me and Lopez gonna answer questions. Y'all have hot takes. Y'all have questions. We got replies and we got answers. I'm gonna be honest. Ripping two shotguns back to back like that, it's a good way to get a little buzz going right before these mailbags. And by a little buzz, I mean I'm blacked out, dude. I don't even know what I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. We're going to talk about questions, answers, and hot takes from the Who Dat Nation. Shador brings prime time from Jansen. If you want to get that in the show, hashtag Saints, send the super chat. All righty. Without further ado, enough beep-bopping around Trizzy. Get it together, and let's talk Saints. What's going on, Saints fans? I want to encourage you to subscribe today because for today's show, we're taking questions and answers. It's a Q&A. Y'all got questions, I got answers. Y'all got hot takes, I got replies from our weekly live show every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. If you guys missed out on it, I highly encourage you to subscribe. We have a lot of fun. We've already thrown down a few brewskis, so of course, it's been a good time. We take hot takes. We take questions from the Golden Gang, and the Golden Gang is our group of subscribers. So if you want to join the Golden Gang, if you want to be a part of the mailbags in the future, I highly encourage you to subscribe. to Saints Now by Chat Sports here on YouTube, and you can always join us for our live shows. Now, this mailbag, this Q&A, it is sponsored by none other than Randy the Legend Lemoyne. He dropped $150 here on this weekly Wednesday live show. Insane work right here. He's on his way to radiation. We want to say first things first, good luck. We love you, and best wishes to Randy. And, of course, we also want to give him a big ol' who dat saying gonna beat Randy Lemoyne. I appreciate you, Randy. This mailbag is sponsored by him. He's been a longtime supporter. We just want to send a lot of love his way. Now, let's get to the very first question here. This one coming in. It's an interesting one about Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart from Praise YJ. Why'd you switch sides from Shedeur to Dart? Now, I'll acknowledge this here. I have been very big on Shedorlins. I've coined the phrase. I started it. I'm the one who created that trend. However, I don't necessarily care about who is under center. I care more so that Kellen Moore gets his guy under center. If that's Jackson Dart, awesome. If it's Shedeur Sanders, awesome. If it's Quinn Ewers, okay, awesome. Less, but awesome. If it's Jalen Milroe, awesome. If it's Garrett Nussmeier, awesome. If it's Arch Manning, awesome. If it's Spencer Rattler, I don't care who the quarterback is. I just want to see the quarterback that Kellen Moore picks, and I want to see him get a chance. So I am not flipped from Shedeur to Dart. I think Dart is a more likely option for Kellen Moore. I think he is the player that Kellen Moore likes more because he was actually in attendance at his pro day versus Colorado's where he wasn't. He sent Doug Nussmeier and Scott Tolzien. So we'll have to see what happens. I personally would be very, very pumped with Shedeur Sanders. I'd also be happy if, let's say at 9 you go Tyler Warren and then you trade back into round 1 and get Jackson Dart. I think that also is an interesting way to go about it. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't like one over the other. I just want to see Kellen Moore get his guy. Quinn Courtney! What's going on? Royalty is back in the chat. I heard Shedeur has an attitude. Do you think it would be a problem, Tyler Warren at 9? So first, you heard Shedeur has an attitude. I don't know if it's as much of an attitude, Lopez, or if it's more of like a confidence and swagger about him and a mindset that's just a little bit more alpha than other quarterbacks. What do you guys kind of think about that?
I definitely agree with that. I think everybody, back at Colorado, Deion Sanders, Shedeur, it's all been documented, what they've done there. And say what you want about Deion, like him or hate him, he built professionals there.
Yeah.
The way that he talks to his team, the way that he has them conduct themselves, they're professionals. I don't think any of them are, they think they're too big for something.
Sure.
So I do think Shedeur is more of that, I got that confidence, I got the swagger. It's not, I'm better than your organization, I am your organization now, nothing like that.
And I'll say this, I appreciate when a quarterback has extra confidence, any player for that matter, but I appreciate when the quarterback has a little extra confidence. And, to answer the question, I don't think it would be a problem. I would be very happy with Tyler Warren at 9. I'd be very happy with Shedeur at 9. I just want to see the 9th overall selection basically not get used on Shamar Stewart. That's pretty much all it is. And I'll also add this. The mentality of when I walk on the field, I'm the best player on this field.
It's needed.
That's something the Saints need. That is something the New Orleans Saints definitely need. Because although Drew Brees didn't walk around nuts hanging down to his ankles, he did command respect. He demanded attention because you knew how good he was. Mm-hmm. So although he didn't verbally, he wasn't outwardly confident and I'm in your face about it, you knew it was there. And you always knew that if you had Drew Brees, you had a chance to win. I think with Shedeur Sanders, you have a chance to win. At least a chance. And maybe a better chance than Derek Carr because, funny enough, they both have the same amount of playoff wins.
I think Derek Carr is taking his last snap as a Saint. I imagine that'll get talked about at some point, but I think we won't see him throw another pass for the Saints.
I agree with you, Lopez, there. Queen Courtney, I appreciate the questions. I also would love Tyler Warren at 9 overall. Isaiah, how pissed would you be if the Saints traded up to 6 with the Raiders for Sanders? I just don't think you need to trade up, man. Because, look, how pissed? I don't know if I would be explicitly just super angry, but I'd definitely be annoyed about it because with the Saints, they're a team that needs to raise the overall talent level of the offense and the defense, offense specifically. And so if Kellen Moore said, Shedeur's my guy No questions asked. I'm going and I'm getting them. Okay, I'll support it. I'll ride with it. I'll roll with it. But that's your guy, and you better be willing to live and die on that hill. So, in my opinion, I think it makes more sense to wait to 9, take best player available. If it's Tyler Warren, cool. If it's Shador, cool. If it's Tet McMillan, cool. Ashton Genty, cool. Whoever it is, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, whoever it is, I don't care. I just want to see Kellen Moore get his guy, and I also don't want to see them like force the pick. You don't need to take a quarterback. You can just roll the dice with Spencer Rattler if you really wanted to. Or shit, you could wait and maybe try and trade back or trade back into the first round and go get Jackson Dart. I just don't want to see the Saints force the quarterback pick, and I don't want to see them trade up. That's just kind of my thing. If they did it, I'd be like, fine, whatever. I just don't think it makes sense. Say no to ayahuasca. Is Aaron Rodgers a possibility for the Saints? We're really doing this? We're really having a conversation about Aaron Rodgers.
I'll say it right now.
In the year of 2025, a week away from the draft, we're really having this conversation.
I am not touching Aaron Rodgers with a 10-foot pole.
I'm not touching him with an 100-foot pole.
Okay,
I'm not touching him with anything. In this instance, size does matter, Lopez. But I'll say this. Why in the hell would you go from one old, expensive quarterback to another?
And this one has a proven attitude problem. We've seen
Yes. This one we know has an attitude issue. So if I'm going to go get a quarterback with an attitude problem, I might as well make him cheap. Go get a rookie. And then let him leave after the rookie contract.
Be an asshole.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go pay a guy to be a bunch of money just to be a headache. And look, I know Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. He is, without a doubt, the best veteran quarterback. And I'll say this, if you move on from Carr, you need a veteran in the locker room. You definitely do.
Yeah.
But you don't need Aaron Rodgers.
That's going to be more of a cancer than you need to do. Like what he's doing with the Steelers right now.
Yeah.
The chokehold that he has.
Dude,
the Steelers
he has the entire Pittsburgh Steelers organization wrapped around his pinky, and he's not even on the roster. Unbelievable. No, thank you.
He is going to get someone fired in Pittsburgh. Someone will be fired in Pittsburgh.
He already got people fired with the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I want nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers in New Orleans. Is it a possibility? Sure. I want nothing to do with it.
Don't do it, though.
Do not even think about it, Mickey Loomis. I know you're foaming at the mouth. Please don't even think about it. If you want to sign Aaron Rodgers, let me know. Just type yes or no. Would you sign him? Rodgers to the Big Easy? Please, God, no. Just leave the ayahuasca up north. I don't want it. I don't. New Orleans is a fun enough city without all that. Let's just keep it how it is, you know? Exactly. If you guys want to go and check out any sort of live event, concert, comedy show, theater, anything like that in your area, I highly encourage you to check out the Game Time app. It is my favorite ticketing app. It is the best ticketing app, and you can get $20 off your first purchase when you download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. Terms do apply, but watching sports is really, really fun, and it's one of my favorite ways to spend the weekend. However, nothing actually beats the hype of being in attendance, so don't miss out on any big moments across sports with the Game Time app. And Game Time specializes in last-minute deals. You can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets for sports, concert, comedy, theater, and even more. You also can check out the Super Deals function. These are tickets that are highlighted for being the best value for your live events. They also have all-in pricing, seat views, the lowest price guarantee, and Game Time ticket coverage, which means your ticket is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. And I'll tell you this right now, I went and got concert tickets for Maddie and I for Christmas. I wanted to get us a fun experience and a memory, not a physical gift. So I went and got us tickets to go see our favorite country artist. We had an absolute blast. But beforehand, I was having a hard time getting my tickets in the Game Time customer service department. Second to none. They are absolutely incredible. They were on the phone with me. They were texting me. They were emailing me. Everything they were taking care of. It was absolutely amazing. You can go get tickets to Arkansas baseball versus LSU. It's going to have a lot of implications to the SEC tournament and Omaha. You can also go see the Falcons take on the Saints or any home game in New Orleans. They already have tickets available. We don't even know when they're playing, but you can get tickets to these games. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. You see it at the bottom of your screen and the links in the comment section and description of this video. You get $20 off your first purchase. Reminder that terms apply, but that's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Let's talk Red. Alrighty. He says, what do you think about Savion Williams? Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Savion Williams. I think if the Saints drafted Savion Williams, that'd be an excellent decision. And I'll give you another big body guy out of TCU, Jack Besh from Louisiana. That would also be an interesting one. But yes, Savion Williams, 6'4", 222 pounds. He would be the biggest receiver by a considerable margin on the Saints roster. There is some discussion of like the Cordell Patterson comparison. It's just too easy given the size of Savion Williams. People are also comparing him to a more athletic Treylon Burks, which, I'm a big fan of Treylon Burks. He was great in college at Arkansas. Just hasn't really panned out as an NFL receiver. He's a little bit of an NFL developmental player with gadget ability, rare size of speed and athleticism. The fact that he was had limited production, 611 yards, 60 receptions, 10.2 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns was interesting. But he also averaged 6.3 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns, 322 carries or yards on 51 carries. So that's pretty interesting. So he has the ability to run and catch the ball. Like I would be okay with this. Like I like Savion Williams a lot. And to be honest, the Saints definitely need a big body wide receiver. Another big body wide receiver from Isaiah, Jaden Higgins at pick 40 would be a steal. Let's dive into the Jaden Higgins profile because I too agree he would be a massive steal. In 2024 at Iowa State, he racked up 87 receptions over or almost 1,200 yards, 13.6 yards per catch, 9 touchdowns for the Cyclones. He had 2 years at Eastern Kentucky before moving up to Iowa State. He could be used as a big slot wide receiver. If you like Kenny Golladay, think about that comparison there, especially considering the size. He isn't the blocker that Kenny Golladay is, but he does have like shades of Jawan Jennings to his game. He's gotten better every single year. He's improved. He doesn't have any special teams experience, essentially zero special team experience. He's not an elite separator, but he's really good with contested catches, and he's a player that I would really, really like. He has more reps outside than inside, but he does have some on the inside. I would be thrilled if the Saints drafted drafted Jaden Higgins. Isaiah, appreciate the question. Carr's turf reviews. We have Carr reviews, but now we get turf reviews. Do you believe in Spencer Rattler as a possible starter? I just threw 4 beer cans on the ground because I'm so mad at Derek Carr. Yes, I do believe in Spencer Rattler as a potential, as a possible starter. I want to make that very clear. It's not that I think he's the next Drew Brees. I don't think he's the next Peyton Manning, but I think that he has the ability to be a potential starter. Like, Lopez, do you think it's very far-fetched to sit here and say, like, let Rattler start, draft an offensive weapon round 1, see what you got in him, and then if not, we see what we can do with somebody else? Like, is that
I wouldn't be mad if that's the move, honestly. I think the Saints would kind of be doing themselves a little bit of a disservice if they don't see what they have with Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, well,
and it's a year 2 quarterback.
Exactly, and Kellen Moore made a good point. He's like, there's a big leap that happens in that second offseason, and he expects that leap from Rattler. We've seen Rattler putting in time at the facility with quarterbacks coaches, doing workouts, doing drills, all this stuff throughout the offseason. Like, in my eyes, here's how I see things. 2 ways right now. 1, Derek Carr over here. He's been an optics nightmare. I also see Spencer Rattler over here, who's been around the team, who I physically got to lay eyes on and ask a question to at the Super Bowl. We also got to see Spencer Rattler at the voluntary workouts. So, like, I see a guy who isn't around and has not been around whatsoever, and I see a guy who has been around. I think I want the guy who has been around leading my offense. I think I want that guy to be my quarterback. Yeah, I want the guy who wants to be around.
Say what you want about Spencer Rattler. He might turn out to be nothing in the NFL.
Correct.
Can't say that's
just
not
because
an
we
option.
give him a chance doesn't mean he's going to work out.
But he's at least buying in.
Exactly. That's the bare minimum you can do. Because even if you aren't a starter, you're a very high level backup and you're somebody people can get excited about.
I'd be more excited to see Spencer Rattler run out of the tunnel on week 1 than a Derek Carr.
100%. 100%. I'd rather see number 2 than number 4 leading the offense week 1. That's just me personally. I could not agree more. That's a great question there. Carr's Turf Reviews. That's a good question. I really appreciate you asking. We want to ask you now, do you believe in Spencer Rattler? Lopez has just been absolutely crushing it. Do you believe in Spencer Rattler as your starting quarterback or as a possible QB1? If you do, type me. I'm going to type my me's. Are you confident in Rattler? If you're not, let me know why. And if you are, I want to hear you explain why. Jaden, always getting great questions in. Do you think Derek Carr is faking his injury? Yes or no? I think he is faking it. What do you think? How do I say this without possibly burning bridges? Yes. Diana Rossini put out a report that she just doesn't. She's talked to a lot of people across the NFL, and she doesn't know how. Like, none of them can see, like, yeah, this injury is, like, a big deal. I'll read you the actual quote here. Give me 1 second, Jaden. I don't want to sit here and say, like, he 100% is faking it. Like, I do think that this injury is something that's lingering from a couple of years ago in that Packers game when he hurt his shoulder. Do you remember? Like, I do think that this is a real injury, but I don't think it's as bad as he's making it out to be. Like, I think he's blowing this out of proportion, if that makes sense. The actual quote from Diana Rossini: "It was very hard for me to find anyone in football who said Derek is definitely dealing with a serious shoulder injury." Like, I don't think that this shoulder injury is as serious as you're going to miss the entire season. I think that, maybe there's a tweak there. Maybe there is some damage done, but I don't think this is you're definitely missing the entire season. And if it was, and we knew about it, like we claim to have known about it, then yeah. I think that Carr's just exaggerating a little bit. I don't know. Nico looking for a job. I'm going to update my LinkedIn, yeah. Hot take. Chris Olave will have a breakout year. That is not a hot take. That is a great take, actually. I saw a picture, Lopez, of Chris Olave. I'm going to be honest, dude. He looks jacked. I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say this guy is destined for 2,000 yards this year. That's no. But what I will sit here and say is there was concerns about the size. There was talk about he needs to put on muscle. I think he listened, and I think he did it. Like,
the talent was already there.
Yeah.
The health has been the
a hell of a football
question
player.
Mark.
Hell of a football player. It's just always been health.
Like, I can't. This is not a hot take to me. This is very.
Hold on, look at this. Look at this. That's Chris Olave.
Jacked.
Dude.
Jacked.
Dude, he looks like two times bigger. Like, his arms look big. Look, his arms look bigger. His shoulders look wider. His entire body just looks bigger. Giggity. But it does. And that right there, shut up, Sam. That right there, I'm like, okay. Is he now even better? Like, oh my God. I'm excited. I think he will have a breakout year. I'm excited to see Kellen Moore play into Chris Olave's skill sets. And I'm also excited to see whoever the quarterback is work with Chris Olave. Like, that's just, I'm pumped. Shoot, man, we haven't seen him in like 9 months. It's going to be awesome to see him play football. What do you think?
Going back to the Kellen Moore thing, just in general, I'm excited to see the offense. That was his big thing coming up through the trenches. This is an offensive mastermind. You're in control now.
Yes.
Let's see what I want to know what a Kellen Moore offense is.
Let's see, because the other thing is, and this is not even necessarily Chris Olave, it's the offense as a whole. Let's see truly how good this roster is. Because if we have playmakers that just needed a better coach, then that's all we needed. But if this roster truly is bad, then we have to make some fixes. And Kellen Moore will have the opportunity to work with it, see what it is, see where the weaknesses and the strengths are, and then attack it in his second offseason. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for Chris Olave. I'm thinking 1,500 yards, 6 touchdowns. Is that crazy to say?
I don't think it's crazy. Like I said, I don't think this is a hot take. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, I think this is a very real take. I think it's a very realistic take for sure. I totally agree with you. Lopez, this was a fun one, man. This was a good mailbag. A lot of good questions, a lot of good stuff. All sponsored by Randy Lemoyne. Shout out to you for being a legend, and I hope the radiation went well. I hope that your health is doing better. I'm I'm super glad to hear from you, Randy. Thank you for always texting and calling me, man. Just last thing I want to say before we hop on out of here, reminder to subscribe, reminder to turn on your noties, but most importantly, a reminder to call your friends, call your family members, tell them you love them. Obviously, this Kyra and Lacey situation happened. I want to take 1 second to address it. It's tough. It's scary. As somebody who has lost people to suicide, it's not fun. Call your friends. Check in on them. Tell them you love them. You never know when it's going to be the last time. And to end on a positive note, I love you guys. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Cool. Sweet. All righty. Do we get any more super chats? Or looks like I don't think we have. Oh, Queen Courtney. This is a good question, Courtney. Yeah, dude, we're gonna see Matt Hayball or Zach Wood, the long snapper, be like, it's about damn time I get my number. Like, I was loyal all these years and you couldn't give me a number that I wanted. Courtney, we're gonna answer your question here in just a moment. We're just popping it up. Thank you so much. Isaiah saying, we love you, Trace. Thanks for all you do. We all love you as Saints fans. Isaiah, I love you too, man. Oh, Ricky, we didn't get your question about Andrew Armstrong. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. It's all good. It was from Ricky Baker. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Point being, yes, Andrew Armstrong is the next CeeDee Lamb. I would be all in on that. Rattlesnake, Shador Sanders, or Jackson Dart, who would wear number 2? I think okay, let me put it this way. Right now, Spencer Rattler's number 2. In case you guys didn't know, he changed his number.
No one's getting 2.
I genuinely don't know if somebody will give up, if he'll give up his number.
No, he just changed.
That's my thing, is he just changed it.
Or you would have to pay a lot of money.
I think if he were to give it up, it would be next year. I don't think it's this year, though. I think Rattler wears number 2. If it's Shador or Dart, I could see that being another single-digit number. I did see on Twitter somebody say, fuck it, give Shador number 9. I was like,
no.
I don't think you can ever give anybody number 9 again.
Call me
if they
crazy.
haven't retired it yet, by the way, retire that number.
Call me crazy. If Shador is the pick at 9, he calls Alontae Taylor immediately. I want 1.
I want 1.
I think Shador number 1 jerseys.
Hold on. Hear me out. Shador 0.
Ooh.
A
First
Shador
quarterback to go 0?
Or an Alontae Taylor 0, Shador 1? That's...
What if the Saints
It's a good thing you can only see waist down or waist up.
The Saints find a way to get rid of Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. Shador comes in. Fuck Derek Carr. I want 4.
That's the actually funniest thing to possibly do, is take number 4. Right. That actually is the best thing you could possibly do.
He's going to say, I want 4 to look good.
Whoever the quarterback is, the best thing you could possibly do is take number 4. That is no question about it. No question about it. That is the funniest thing you could do. All righty. We're going to sign off. We're going to hop out of here. It's been a really, really fun show. Randy Lemoyne made it possible. But hey, guess what? We're going to be live again tomorrow. So if you had fun today, we'll be live again tomorrow. 1 p.m. Central Time. I hope to see you guys there. We're going to be doing a Chat Sports company-wide mock draft. Me and Lopez are going to be making the pick for the Saints at number 9. We're also going to be making the pick at number 40. 71 and 93 as well. 4 picks in 3 rounds. I hope to see you guys there. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, set them to all. That way you get all your notifications. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all stay golden. Super pumped up about this mock draft. Thank you for tuning in today.